Hey, welcome back guys. This is going to be our conclusion of the LED fading series of tutorials. We'll be introducing the if function and serial communication. So let's get straight to the code. We're going to be coalescing the two for loops, right, into one by changing our logic a bit. The loop will run both up and down by using a separate variable to keep track of whether we're incrementing or decrementing. So we'll keep this lower for loop where it says less than 0, but we'll do it while I is greater than or equal to 0. And we'll change it to I starting at 0. And our increment here is going to be I equal to I plus some variable x. But of course we have to instantiate this variable. So we'll do an integer x is equal to 1. What does this mean? Instead of hard coding I plus plus, I minus minus, what we're doing is putting a separate variable that gets added every time to our I value. Now this is just like I plus plus. It would go through the loop and each time it would add 1 to it. But we're learning about the if function today, so we're going to put if here. The if function, the if function checks whether a condition is met, and once that condition is met, it executes code. In our case, we're checking if the LED is at its max value, and then if it has reached its max value, we want it to start getting darker. So what's our max value? 255. So if I is greater than or equal to 255, what do we want to do? We want to change the value of x. X gets flipped to -1, which means once we reach 255, x becomes -1. We start counting down. This analog right is good because we're always just putting in the value, and this delay is still the same. So we've basically just captured two for loops into one. Well, that finishes the loop, but let's have the Arduino do something cool, which is tell us when the computer is switching. For that, we'll need serial communication in the setup function. So go to setup, and you're going to write serial.begin 9600. This 9600 is simply the baud rate, or how fast the transmission occurs. Then we'll write in the if statement here, serial.print line. Line is not L-I-N-E, it's L-N. Open parentheses, quotation mark because we're putting a string, down. Because once we've gotten into this loop, we are moving downwards. Then outside the for loop, what we're going to write is serial.print line up. Because once we've exited the for loop, we're going to be going back to the top and rising back up through the values. So let's upload this program and check our output. Well, it looks good on the Arduino, but we've got serial communication. So we're going to move our mouse up into the corner here with this little magnifying glass. You can see serial monitor. You press that, and we should be getting down, up, down, up. Fantastic. I like this. So if you aren't getting this and you're getting a bunch of gribble grobble stuff that you can't understand, you need to check the baud rate. Make sure it's set to 9600, which is what we set in the serial.begin function. So that's cool. Let's just do this so that we can see when it says down, it's getting less bright. When it's going up, it's getting more bright. Very cool. Thanks for tuning in to these short tutorials. We'll be moving on from the LED example in the next set of tutorials, so make sure to subscribe and like for more fantastic content from Lombardi Engineering. See you.